Good evening, everybody. Shana, BookTube. This is Rainer. This is Rainier Books. I'm a German booktuber living in Sweden, talking about books written mostly in English. And today it's time for the KLM tag, the airline tag. No, but KLM is one of my favorite airlines. Actually, KLM took me to San Francisco, it took me to Vancouver, and it got me home from Tokyo, and it got me back from San Francisco as well. So I made a couple of long haul flights with KLM. So this is the leading airline for me, at least. KLM is very nice, and KLM is also the title of the text that I'm doing today. Jim from Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff from Georgia, living in Georgia, has created all these letter tags, and today it's time for KLM, which is the KLM tag. Here we are. Let's start the video. We start with K. Okay, K is for The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Have you read The Kite Runner? What did you think about the book? I haven't read The Kite Runner yet. I'm so sorry. It's a book about Afghanistan. I really want to read this because I think we need to learn more about this country that has suffered so much in the last decades and over the centuries. Definitely. I'm going to read either The Kite Runner or A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. I don't know yet which one it will be, but it's on my TBR now. One of them. K is for Kafka, Franz Kafka as we say in German. How has a writer who never finished a novel so permeate our culture as to have an adjective name after him, Kafkaesque? This question came from Mark Nash. Yeah, good question. How should I answer that question? Because I didn't coin the word Kafkaesque. But yeah, he was definitely a very influential writer. And that's why this word exists. I mean, apparently he was an influential writer for so many people that this word was coined first in German, Kafkaesque, and then in other languages as well. Mark, is that good for an answer? I don't know, probably not. But we won't find the solution to that question. But it's great that a German-speaking writer like Franz Kafka has a word that went into so many languages after his, which is sort of originating from his name. Which is your favorite of Kafka's novels? That would be The Trial, probably. Der Prozess, I think. Is it a trial in English? I don't know. Der Prozess in German is my favorite novel by Franz Kafka. K is for King. Which is your favorite novel by Stephen King? Is that possible? Can I stay on BookTube if I say that I never read a novel by Stephen King? Is that possible? Or do I have to sort of delete everything now? I haven't read a novel by Stephen King yet. I certainly will one day, but I was always impressed by seeing these like 12 to 1700 pages books that he's writing. But I know that he's a great writer, and I've seen a couple of movie adaptations, but I haven't read a novel yet by Stephen King. I've read a novel by Lily King, Writers and Lovers, 2 years ago that I really liked, last year that I really liked. So if it's the favorite novel by King, I would say Writers and Lovers by Lily King. K is for Kennedy. Have you done the JFK tag created by very literary Carrie? I haven't done the Kennedy tag yet. I wasn't tagged. And I haven't looked at the problems. Probably I have to do the Kennedy tag. Sounds interesting. Seems a political tag. Seems to be a political tag, right? K is for Kirk. What is your favorite Star Trek character? That's easy. I really have a favorite Star Trek character, and that's the one that the wonderful Leonard Nimoy was playing. It is Lieutenant Spock, of course. I wanted to have these ears when I was a teenager. I never got them. K is for Korea. Can you recommend a book or author from Korea, North or South? Well, there are not so many North Korean authors translated into other languages, I believe. And I don't actually know of any novel from North Korea that wouldn't be propaganda probably if it had been written and published in North Korea. But in South Korea, of course, there's this book that I read that I absolutely would recommend. It's called Ji Ying Yan, born in 1983. I read that last year. And it's a book about women and how women are suppressed in South Korea. I really recommend that one to you. K is for Kindle. What are you currently reading on your Kindle? Here's my Kindle. It's full of books, actually. It's full of books. And I would recommend... No, I'm currently reading. That was the question. Currently reading, still reading, and it will take me a while to finish this. I have said that in other videos. Museum of Abandoned Secrets by Oksana Zabuzhko for the post-Soviet book club. That's what I go for on the Kindle right now. There are many... Okay, that's not a question. K is for killer. What book from your reading took you into the mind of a killer? So last year I read that book about Israel Keys, who was one of the most horrific, and there are many serial killers in the United States. Keys was someone, I think he lived in Alaska in the last time before his arrest, but he had killing kits that he placed in different states in the US because he wouldn't kill at home so that he wouldn't get traced easily. He would kill in the northeast states, he had a killing kit buried somewhere in, say, New Hampshire, and he went to New Hampshire. He would go to New Hampshire, he would dig up his killing kit, he would kill someone in Rhode Island and sort of bring the body or the bodies to Vermont and bury them there or burn them there somewhere to leave as few traces as possible, but in as many locations and states as possible, because there's a problem in the US, of course, with the jurisdiction in different states. If a case is not identified as a national case, then it's really a problem. So Keyes used this, and he was very intelligent. He's still a young man, and he killed he killed girls, he killed men, he killed young people, he killed old people. He didn't have sort of the target group that many others have. He's really a very, very dangerous man. And Maureen Callahan comes to the conclusion in that book about him that he could have, any one of us, you and I, we could have been a victim of Israel Keys if we had been at the wrong place at the wrong time. So that is a book that put me into the mindset of a killer. K is for kinds. No, K is for kind. What kind of books don't you read? There is... I don't read science fiction. I don't read certain genres. I don't read fantasy. I don't read historical novels. Usually, there are exceptions, but very few of them. So this is what I usually do not read.